So the name of the topic over here is direct proportion. See, we have two variables. First variable is x, other variable is y. Direct proportion means that when x increases, y also increases. When x decreases, y also decreases. In Singapore, if we borrow books from public library and are late in returning the books, we will be fined 15 cents per day for each overdue book. Table 1.1 shows the fines for an overdue book, number of days. Now it says over here, as the number of days increases, fine also increases. We can see over here that when on the first day fine was 15 cents, on the second day fine became 30 cents, on the third day it becomes 45 cents, on the fourth day 60, then 75, then 90, then 105, then 120, then 135, then 150. This relationship indicates that as number of days increases, as number of days increases in uh, in returning the book, the fine also goes up. The fine also increases. This is an example of direct relationship. This is an example of direct relationship. If the number of books is overdue increases, will the fine increase or decrease? If the number of days a book is overdue is doubled, how will fine change? Hint. Acha. So now we understand what is a direct relationship. Acha. Now I want to calculate rate. What is rate? Fine rate, which is given. So fine rate is basically 15. We can see over here fine is 15, number of days. Let's suppose is 1. So 15 upon 1, 15. Then second day it becomes 30. So 30 upon 2, 15. Then 45 upon 3, 15. 60 upon 4, 15. So you can calculate this. You can calculate the rate by using the formula. The formula for the rate is, if you want to calculate the rate, formula is going to be y upon x. Y upon the rate by which it is changing. So this is constant, and this constant can be denoted as k. This constant can be denoted as k. If 6 kg of biscuit cost $27, calculate the cost of 13 kg of biscuits. अब यहाँ पे what examiner is saying कि भाई if 6 kg of biscuit cost $27, then 13 kg of biscuit cost X dollar. क्योंकि ये डायरेक्ट रिलेशनशिप है ना कि भाई 6 kg $27 कॉस्ट कर रहे हैं, तो if number of kg would increase, I'll say cost is also going to increase. Cost will also going to go up. So you'll do x equals to, you'll cross multiply, as this is direct relationship. We'll say 6x equals to 27 multiplied by 13. X equals to 27 multiplied by 13 upon 6. And we will get our answer. 27 multiplied by 13 divided by 6. So our answer is coming out as $58.5. $58.5. It's very simple. और common sense भी बनता है कि if 6 kg cost $27, then ultimately 13 kg would cost more. There is another method for doing this. X upon 13 equals to 27 upon 6. So 27 upon 6 multiplied by 13, x equals to 58.5. This is known as proportion method. X1 upon x2 equals to y1 upon y2. If 50 gram of sweets corn cost 2.10, find the cost of 380 gram of sweets, giving your answer correct to nearest 5 cents. So up says over here 50 gram of sweets cost $2.10, then 380 gram of sweets are going to cost X dollar. We will cross multiply. 50x equals to 2.10 multiplied by 380. X equals to 2.10 multiplied by 380 divided by 50. 2.10 multiplied by 380 divided by 50. X equals 15.96. अगर 50 ग्राम कॉस्ट करता है 2.10, तो सर अल्टीमेटली 380 ग्राम इज गोइंग टू कॉस्ट मोर. तो देयर इज अ डायरेक्ट रिलेशनशिप. ये तो कॉमन सेंस है, क्योंकि ये जैसे जैसे ग्राम बढ़ता जाएगा कॉस्ट इज ऑल्सो गोइंग टू इंक्रीज. In the example on overdue books in the section 1.1, we have found that y upon x equals to 15, which is constant. If we represent this constant by k, then y upon x equals to k, or y equals to kx, where k is not equals to 0. Hence, we have y is directly proportional to then y upon x equals to k, or y equals to kx, where k is constant and k is not equals to 0. Now I will explain this to you. If beta I have identified that y is directly proportional to k, which means कि भाई जब y increase होता है x भी increase होता है, जब x decrease होता है y भी decrease होता है. Directly proportional का मतलब है जब when one variable increases other variable also increases, when one variable decreases other variable also decreases. तो हमने एक चीज बोली थी, हमने प्रीवियस क्वेश्चन में जब हम डिस्कस कर रहे थे, हमने कहा था y अपॉन x इक्वल्स टू 15 है. लास्ट क्वेश्चन में हमने ये बात डिस्कस करी थी. सो दिस 15 वाज कांस्टेंट, क्योंकि आप किसी पे भी डाल के देख लो, यू विल गेट द सेम आंसर. हम ऊपर जो टेबल डिस्कस कर रहे थे, वी गॉट द सेम आंसर हर किसी में. दिस वाज द कांस्टेंट रेट बाय विच इट वाज इंक्रीजिंग. हर जगह वो 15 15 15 से बढ़ रहा था. तो देयर इज अ रूल. We can write this 15 as k. If y is directly proportional to x, then y upon x equals to k. हम ये कह सकते हैं, instead of 15 we can say y upon x equals to k, or y equals to kx. Y equals to kx, where k cannot be equal to 0. k is a constant and k cannot be equal to 0. तो ये rule है. This is a rule. If direct proportion occurs, then we will say y equals to kx. अब direct proportion हमें identify करना आना चाहिए. We should be able to identify कि whether there is a direct relationship or there is an inverse relationship. And we can easily do that by looking at x and y. If x is increasing, y is also increasing, then you'll say direct relationship. ठीक है. Hmm. Let's do this. we have a graphical representation of direct proportion. As I told you earlier कि भाई graph कैसे बनता है, तो graph बनाने के लिए we need two things. We need to first make, should be able to make a table where we can write the values of x and we can write the values of y. When x was equals to 0, I said y is also equals to 0, क्योंकि अगर आपने जाहिर है एक दिन भी overdue नहीं किया, आपने एक दिन भी late नहीं किया, so you won't have to pay any fine. On the first day it becomes 15, then 30, then 45, so it was increasing by a constant rate of 15. और हमारे पास एक इक्वेशन बन गई. इक्वेशन क्या बनी? y इक्वल्स टू 15x. ये इक्वेशन हमारे पास बन गई. ठीक है. सो अब मैं इसमें कुछ भी वैल्यू डाल के देख लूँ. इफ आई पुट x एज 1 तो मेरे पास 15 आंसर आएगा. आ गया ये. अगर मैं डाल के देख लूँ x एज 2, 15 इंटू 2 तो मेरे पास 30 आ गया. अगर मैं डाल के देख लूँ 15 एज 3 तो मेरे पास 45 आएगा. देन 15 एज 4, x एज 4, then 15 times 4 is 60. So we made an equation. This is our equation for this question. Y equals to 15x. Y equals to 15x. Acha. I have made an equation. Now examiner wants me to make a graph. Plot the graph of y against x in the figure 1.1. Now I have to plot a graph. ठीक है, जिसमें मैं ये सारी चीजें इंडिकेट करूंगा. सो फर्स्ट आई विल सी व्हाट्स द वैल्यू ऑफ x when y equals to 0. So when y equals to 0, x is also 0. So I'll plot the first point over here. Then the next point is when x equals to 1, y equals to 15. When x equals to 1, y equals to 15. So next point will come over here. Okay, whenever we are making a graph, it's necessary that we draw it using a graph paper. देखो, just like how I have drawn. I have a graph paper and I'm drawing it over here. When x is equals to 2, y equals to 30. When x equals to 2, y equals to 30. When x equals to 3, y equals to 45. When x equals to 4, y equals to 60. When x equals to 5, y equals to 75. When x equals to 6, y equals to 90. When x equals to 7, y equals to 105. 8, 120. 9, 135. Now I have to make a line. अब लाइन ड्रॉ करते हैं. लाइन ड्रॉ करते हैं. लाइन ऐसे आएगी. इस तरीके की लाइन होगी. ठीक है. सो आई विल ड्रॉ दिस फॉर यू यूजिंग अ स्केल. ठीक है. दैट्स हाउ वी विल मेक अ लाइन. अब इसमें ना वी नीड टू अंडरस्टैंड 2 to 3 थिंग्स. Firstly, as there is direct relationship, so I will say m, which is basically the gradient, it would be positive. And we can see it over here, m is positive, m is 15 over here, the gradient is 15 over here. The rate at which it is changing is positive, positive 15. So this thing indicates that the graph should be upward sloping. This is an upward sloping graph. Upward sloping ग्राफ. अब ये चीज इंडिकेट कर रही है जब एक वेरिएबल इंक्रीज हो रहा है, द अदर वेरिएबल इज आल्सो इंक्रीजिंग. व्हेन x इज इंक्रीजिंग, y इज आल्सो इंक्रीजिंग. ठीक है, लेट्स मूव ऑन. ठीक है, दैट्स हाउ are you are also going to make graph using a scale, using a proper scale, using a proper table. You will make graph like this. What is the shape of the graph? If y is directly proportional, then the graph of y against x is a straight line that passes through the origin. That passes through the origin. Origin is this 0 and 0. This is the origin. Up we have one more question over here. If y is directly proportional to x and y equals to 12 when x equals to 4, find an equation connecting x and y. I know that y is directly proportional to x. I know this, that y is directly proportional to x. So I can make an equation y equals to kx, where k is the slope, k is the rate. This will only be formed in the case of direct proportion. In the case of direct proportion, I have the value of y and I have the value of x. So I can say, I can calculate the value of k. Y equals to 12, x equals to 4. So the rate, the slope can be 12 upon 4 equals to k. So k equals to 3. So I can say the equation is going to be y equals to 3x. This is my equation. In the second part, examiner says find the value of y when x equals to 8. So what is the value of y when x is equals to 8? Here we have the solution. When x equals to 8, y equals to 24. 3 times 8 is 24. So it would be 24. Then it says, what's the value of x when y equals to 21? Similarly, I can substitute y as 21 into y equals to 3x. So if y is 21, it's going to be 21 equals to 3x. 21 upon 3 equals to x. X equals to 7. This is going to be my final answer. ठीक है? So what's the first step? I have to see that what's the relationship between two variables. If it's direct relationship, then the equation is going to be y equals to kx, where k is constant. K, basically k is the rate, k is the slope, and k cannot be equal to 0. So y equals to kx, and I found that the constant rate at which it is changing is 3. So rate is going to be 3, y equals to 3x. When x equals to 8, y is going to be equal to y equals to 3 times 8, 3 8s are 24. When x equals to 20, when y equals to 21, x should be equal to 21 upon 3. 3 sevens are 21. So my answer is going to be 7. X equals to 7. X equals to 7. Now we have another question over here. If y is directly proportional to x and y equals to 10 when x equals to 2, find an equation connecting x and y. So I know that it's directly proportional. So when two variables are directly proportional to each other, I'll say y equals to kx, where k is the rate. I have made an equation. Y equals to 10 and x equals to 2. So 10 equals to k times 2. 10 upon 2 equals to k equals to 5. I found the value of k. I've made an equation. Y equals to 5x. Then it says in the second part, let's do this on another paper. Y equals to 5x. Y equals to 5x. Then in the second part, it says, find the value of y when x equals to 10. Part B, value of y when x equals to 10. So y equals to 5 times 10 and y equals to 50. Then in the next part, find the value of x when y equals to 60. Part C, find x when y equals to 60. So again, I'll write the equation y equals to 5x, y is equals to 60 equals to 5x, 60 upon 5 equals to x equals to 60 divided by 5, which is 12. X equals to 12 kg. Then in the next part, it says, if y is directly proportional to x, y equals to 5, x equals to 2, find a value of y when x equals to 7. This is also very simple. What I have to do is, I know that y is directly proportional to x. So y is 5, x is 2. 5 equals to k into 2. 5 divided by 2, it's going to be 2.5. So y equals to 2.5. Y equals to 2.5x. Find the value of y when x equals to 7. So 2.5 into 7, my answer is going to be 17.5. 17.5. My answer is going to be 17.5. Y equals to 17.5 for question number 2. If, if, if x equals to 7, then y is going to be equal to 17.5. Let's do this question. This is an excellent question. Question number 3. It's very important. And over here, examiner wants me to draw a graph. Examiner wants me to draw a graph. Let's do this. This is very good question. First, I'm going to make a table. I'm going to copy the question. One, one, two, three, four, five, six. One, two, three, four, five, six. TKG. This is X and this is Y. So values are given over here. X equals to 4, 5, 7, 30, 48, 57. If examiner gives me such a question in which I have to complete the table, so in such a case, what am I supposed to do is I first have to make an equation. I'll first have to make an equation. So for the equation, I should know rate, the slope. And I told you the formula is y upon x in case of a table. In case examiner have given you a table, then you should use the formula y upon x. So y is 30, x is 5, 5 6 is 30, rate is going to be 6. I've got the rate. Now I can make the equation. As I can see it over here, that this is a question relating to directly proportional. Acha. It is specified in the question that x is directly proportional, which means that when x increases, y also increases. So I'll say y equals to 6x. This is my equation. Now I can find the value of y and x. I can complete the table. First one, it says over here, find x when y equals, find y when x equals 4. Y equals to 6 into 4. 6 4s are 24. So I have gotten the value of y as 24. Then in the second one, it says find y when x equals 7. Y equals to 6 into 7. 6 sevens are 42. So it's 42. Then it says find x when y is 48. 48 is equals to 6x. 48 upon 6 equals to x. 48 divided by 6, x equals to 8. Then y equals to 57 divided by 6, 9.5. This is the solution for this question. So we have completed the table. In the expense SE of a tea party are directly proportional. The expenses $E in a tea party are directly proportional to number of guests n presents. When there are 30 guests present at the tea party, the expenses incurred are 210. Find an equation connecting E and N. E is basically expense, N is number of guests. So same, I'll write N equals to E equals to Kn. N is 30, E is 210. 210 equals to K into 30. K equals to 7. E equals to 7, and that's the equation. When N equals to 80, E equals to 560. So I found the equation. I have calculated the rate. I have done all the workings. Now I can easily solve my question. I just need to understand that in case of direct proportion, when one variable is increasing, other variable also increasing. I'll also give you another example of direct proportion. For example, price and quantity supplied. As price increases, quantity supplied also increases. Ceteris paribus, assuming all the exogenous factors are held constant. Law of supply. Law of supply states that then when price is increasing, quantity supplied also increases due to profit purpose. People see कि भाई अब इसमें मुनाफा ज़्यादा है, इसमें profit ज़्यादा है, so I'll earn more if I sell more. That's the scenario.